Hello and welcome again, you guys, to this is video number 3 of basically Camille Cabrera author, creating with Camille, kind of that parallel to the podcast. And for this video, I figured I'd share with you guys picks that I myself enjoy reading over quarantine. So prelude, these aren't what I usually read, just because I feel like it's a different time in everyone's lives. So these picks will be more like the comfort food I personally enjoy to read when I feel like it's more of a difficult time, when I just feel like I need more like a pick-me-up emotionally than like a big book to sink my teeth into, which is actually my general style. But on these off occasions, why not? So first one, The Little Prince. And so this one was a work created by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. And so kind of like a tidbit of information was this author was actually unable to kind of really be able to read his own work in France when he first created it because he was exiled. So his work was technically banned from being published in France. So this child's book is technically a banned book. Or technically was a banned book at one point. I like it because I kind of feel like it's one of those books you can revisit and you get a little bit more each time you read it. And also, I'm a huge sucker for books with pictures. I know, how could I? I'm so old. Because it's pretty. That's why. I mean, honestly, it's pretty and it has a nice message. And why not have this to read and go to bed at some point when you're just feeling down. So yeah, this is number 1. So number 2, a little more on the insightful side, I guess. This is something I read more when I was graduating high school, and it's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be, by Paul Arden. And this book is very motivational, I found it to be. And it's not like a thick book or anything. It's very petite, but it is motivational. And I was a huge fan of the information. So, of course, it had to be included in my top 4 picks for this quarantine time. And so if you like reading a little bit of motivation in your day, a little bit to make you feel better, I suggest that book. It's also in my book haul, so... this one, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. So I'm a huge fan of this. This one's by Travis Bradbury and Jean Greaves. And so this one is basically, you have different portions, basically it's explained, of your emotional intelligence. And you're able to kind of see where you are in relation to where you can progress ultimately to be. And it's kind of how you understand yourself and how you understand others emotionally. And that's super cool, so I was a huge fan of that. And also it's a time where you can improve, so why not try and make the best self you can while we're all kind of just hanging out. And if you want a simpler read, that's totally it. Okay, so I told myself I would be doing comfort food for my soul, basically, with books. But I kind of cheated because I really had to include this one. And this is And Only to Deceive by Tasha Alexander. Personally, I find her to be a genius. This book is amazing. I love that it's a Victorian era novel that's full of suspense. I'm a huge fan of thrillers, mysteries, suspense. I know you guys can't tell because those are generally the books I write and publish are ones like that. So this is, I guess, high praise from one author to another. I adore you, Tasha Alexander, and I'm just a huge fan of seeing where books go from one moment to the next. So those are my top 4. Nothing, I don't think, too crazy for this time. If you have any suggestions or would like me to talk about something else, feel free to comment below. And thank you for reading and watching and all the wonderful feedback I've been getting so far. You guys have been making my days a little bit brighter in quarantine. So thank you, and I'll see you guys later.